Hi, boys and girls. I hope you all are having a happy fall. All the leaves are falling from the trees and completely covering the ground. But what if God made food fall from the sky instead of leaves? Well, that's what happened with Moses and the Israelites when they were wandering in the desert. Let's see what we can find out. Moses and the Israelites were traveling from Elim towards Mount Sinai through the desert of Sin. In the desert, they became very hungry and started grumbling to Moses and Aaron. "In Egypt we had plenty of food," they complained bitterly. "You have brought us out into the desert to die of starvation." The Lord told Moses, "I am going to rain down bread from heaven for 6 days each week. On the 6th day, people should gather twice as much. On the 7th day, there will be no bread from heaven, as it is a special day for them to rest." Moses and Aaron announced, "God has heard your grumbling and is sending meat this evening and all the bread you need in the morning. Then you will know that He is the Lord who provides. Who are we? Your grumbling is not against us, but God." Aaron told the crowd to come before God. As they looked towards the desert, they saw the glory of the Lord appearing in the cloud. The Lord promised Moses He was sending meat that evening and bread in the morning. That evening, a large flock of birds called quail landed near the camp. The hungry people caught them and ate the delicious meat. The next morning, there was a layer of dew on the ground, which dried up and became like thin flakes of frost on the ground. "What is it?" they asked Moses. The Hebrew word for "what is it" is manna. "This is the bread from heaven God promised," Moses explained. "Everyone should gather as much as they need. Don't collect more than you need and store it overnight." Everyone started gathering the manna. It was white like coriander seed and tasted like wafers made with honey. Moses explained that they were to gather just enough for 5 days. On the 6th day, they were to gather twice more than they needed, as there would be no manna on the 7th day. Most people obeyed God and gathered food enough just for that day. Some people, however, were greedy, and they disobeyed God, and they gathered more than they needed and stored it overnight. The next morning it was full of maggots and worms and smelt horrible. On the 6th day, most people gathered twice as much as God had told them. On the 7th day, the extra manna was still fresh and they could eat it. Some, however, went out looking for manna, but there was none. "God has declared the 7th day as a special day of rest," warned Moses. "Everyone is to stay where they are and rest." The Israelites traveled on towards Mount Sinai. They were then to eat manna every day for the 40 years that they were wandering in the wilderness. God loves us and knows exactly what we need. He promises to provide for us, and He does. When we are young, God gives us the job of providing for us to our parents. When we grow up, He helps us work and earn money so we can buy the things we need. Sometimes, however, when we need help, God sends a friend to help us, or He provides exactly what we need with a miracle. God's gifts to us are always exactly right. Now, the most important thing to take away from this story today is that God will provide. If you ask Him, He will provide in your prayer life, in your home life, in your school life, and in your church life. So don't be afraid to request whatever you need, and God will hear your prayer. The answer may not always be what we expect, but He will be able to provide exactly what you need. I hope to see you next time. Hope you all are very good until then. Goodbye.